Everything else that was hacked recently, they didn't make a big deal out of it. If they did have something, they would have released it. They would have been glad to release it. I don't want to take advantage of something. I have something that others don't have. I don't like the way that looks, but I would be able to do that if I wanted to. I'd be the only one that would be able to do that. If we wanted to, I just don't want to because I think that would be a conflict. We're doing them a tremendous service by doing it. We are going to build a wall, and people would go crazy. I don't blame them for what's happened. I don't blame them for taking advantage of the United States. I wish our politicians were so smart. I had my meeting. Nobody knew, not even Rona, my executive assistant for years. She didn't know. I didn't tell her. And that's because we have no defense. That's because we're run by people that don't know what they're doing. Can you imagine if I received the questions? It would be the electric chair. When I heard about it, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process. You are old enough to have seen a time that was much different. You never saw heads chopped off until a few years ago. They built pipelines, and they failed. Didn't work. They paid millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to consultants and lawyers, and they failed. I asked, what's going on in Chicago? Right? What is going on? There's no excuse for it. I think it should be. I think it would be, frankly, more interesting. I know how good everybody's ratings are right now, but I think that'd actually be better. How are the Republicans going to finally get together? Where did all these people came that voted for Donald Trump? And he was all set. I spoke to him on the phone. Very nice guy.
I hear he wanted that meeting with you as well.
He wanted it, but we called. They can't make a meeting with of those people standing behind me that worked for years. This was the culmination of a few months' work. What happened? I have a lot more money in here.
Your State Department still has some unfilled positions. Are you worried that the State...
We are making America great again. You haven't heard that, have you? It's so hard to win the presidency. You fight. And now only 2 years. That's a very short period. And by the time you start campaigning, it's a year. And now you got to go and fight again. But you just won. Fighting very hard for border security, so important. I've already started building the wall. We built large sections, and we're fixing up a lot of other sections that are a mess. So you have ports of entry, and we have great security at the ports of entry. And then you may have fencing or walls up and down, left and right, east and west. But I'll bet you as much food as we have pizzas, we have 300 hamburgers, many French fries. So maybe you guys can remember that when you say that I haven't spent the money. We spent the money. They can't believe themselves that they got away with it. They can't believe it. An impossible thing. And they like me. The last time, Chuck, you shut it down.
No.
And then you opened it up very quickly. And
20 times.
I don't want to do what you did.
20 times.
Chuck, because we have a lot of Democrats here tonight, and I'm very happy about that. People don't realize it. I have a lot of friends who are Democrats. Excuse me, did we win the Senate? We won the Senate. Bob Corker was going to be a senator for another 20 years. And then for some reason, he hit me.
Hello, welcome to Accordion Phone. Would you like to hear a sample from this week's news selection?
Okay, good.
Shall we play the full recording?
Good. Okay, I like to hear that. That's great. I'm hearing very good things. The radical left can never control our borders. I will never let it happen. Because, I kept trying to say, why is this? But it's just there. This is national security we're talking about. We're not talking about games. But you ever see it like in football, where a team is holding the other team scoreless? They can't throw, they can't pass, they can't do anything. Now it's 3.5 quarters. They gotta just hold them. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Going back to the Russia investigation and